How is summer always over? Like, how is it that we're like waiting for summer for like 10 months? Summer is here for like a month and then it's already autumn. How? Hi, I am Megha and welcome to Couple of Expats, the channel where we talk about life in Finland. Okay, so the days are clearly getting a lot shorter and it is getting pretty chilly outside. So in today's video, we are talking about how to transition from the warmer summer months to the autumn months and how to essentially enjoy the process because we are heading into some of the darkest months of the year. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing what we do in our household, and I'm going to be very much looking forward to your tips and how do you make autumn more lively and special, and how do you enjoy this time? Okay, if you do enjoy the video, remember what to do. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel about life in Finland, and let's get into the first point. Okay, so the first big change for me is the light. And I think this is specifically also because in Finland, the summer months are so bright that our eyes get used to that level of brightness. Now, I do know that also for me, it is hard to get used to at the beginning of summer. Like, oh my God, it's so bright. And then at the end of summer, it's like, oh wait, it's not bright anymore. Both are transitions. And remember, if you've watched our previous videos, my parents were shocked at how bright the evenings are in Finland in the summertime. Well, obviously they were here earlier and now the day is getting shorter and shorter. And sure, it's going to get really short, but it is a big change to go from bright at 10, 11 p.m. to dark at 3 or 4 p.m. And for that, we try two things. One is we have bright lights that we wake up to. And I think that has been very helpful. So you can set what time you want to wake up, and it gradually basically replicates like a sunrise, and the light levels keep increasing. And yeah, if you have ever tried a bright light, or if you haven't tried one, I definitely recommend trying one in Finland. It has made the waking up process easier for me. And that's about the morning. And when it comes to evening, one of the things that help a lot is candles. So having candles lit around the house make it more cozy. They also help with the amount of light you have in a room. So like, let's say if you have like 2 lamps on and then you have 1 or 2 candles, it definitely increases the amount of light there is in the room. That's also something that I feel like I enjoy a lot. So yeah, that's the first thing. The next thing is preparing your home. Now, I think we all agree that our home, that's like the center of where our energy is. It's where we're spending the most time, or at least it's the place that we can control, and it really resonates with how we feel. And yeah, your home is an important space for every one of us. And preparing your home is important to help you prepare for autumn. Now, there are a few things that we are doing at the beginning of every autumn season. And I'm glad that we're shooting this video because this is a very good checklist reminder that these are all things that I need to soon do because we haven't done them yet. But there's still plenty of time. One thing that I think makes things a lot easier is I essentially switch out my summer wardrobe from my winter wardrobe, so it's more accessible to get like sweaters rather than a summer dress when I am picking out what to wear. So basically going through my stuff and making sure the autumn and winter stuff is easier to get to, and making sure the layers very important in Finland. Make sure that your scarf, your gloves, those are something that you can easily reach, and things that you probably haven't used for the last few months. So that is something that we do, and it makes it easier every time you're getting ready to get out of the house. So the summer winter wardrobe exchange is something we're doing. Maybe dedicate a Sunday to do that. It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it. Then we will switch out our summer blanket to something heavier. We'll switch it out for the winter blanket. For example, if your blankets are from IKEA, there's the thermometer rating of warmth, which one is for the winter season, which one's for the summer season, and just like switching out your lighter blankets to something heavier. That's something if you don't want to freeze at night. Next thing we definitely have to do before it gets too late is prepare our patio for the colder season. So we have outdoor furniture, which I think a lot of you may have in Finland. The people who are living in omakotitalo, rivitalo, you have maybe grills, dining tables, sofa sets, and these are things that we would cover with a plastic and make sure that they can withstand colder temperatures and rain and snow and everything that's coming very soon. Okay, another thing that is not a must, but it might help to make the autumn period nicer is if you have some seasonal cushions, seasonal decorations that you put out this time of year. Definitely time to bring those out if they add a little bit something extra. So cushions can be a nice addition. Again, we talked about candles. Maybe something festive if you have Halloween decorations and after that Christmas decorations. So kind of getting those decorations out and displaying them. We have had fairy lights at least for many, many years. And even though they can be a bit Christmassy, we tend to use them also a lot before and after Christmas simply because the fairy lights just increase the amount of light at home. So yeah, that's definitely something that I enjoy doing. And I must ask the audience, what else do you recommend doing to make your home, your own personal space, feel cozier during this time? Please do let me know if there's anything else that we should try, because autumn is just starting, so I would love for us to try this season. Next thing that is super important is your health. So I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like every time we start stepping into autumn, it becomes the season where everyone is always sick, which is probably just, that it is a tough time for a lot of people. There are more germs circulating. There are more different types of viruses or bacteria circulating. So it is a time where you have to be extra careful. So the basics for staying healthy during the autumn definitely include making sure that you're taking your vitamins. So your multivitamins, your vitamin D, that is absolutely essential. And I think, the way I would put it is you understand how important it is if you ever miss a season where you don't take vitamins. That's when you realize how important that is. But hey, don't be that person and be sure to get your vitamins restocked. We have already done that, so we're not making that mistake twice. Now, even vitamins can be something that price can add up very easily. So you could want to look out for sales, for example. The place that we're buying our vitamins from is basically this apteekki called Yliopiston Apteekki, and from time to time they have 25% off offers, and then we will be basically placing an order online and getting our vitamins. But irrespective of where you get your vitamins from, it's important that you stock up and you don't wait till it's middle of autumn or winter, but consider that as part of your daily routine to take your vitamins. And in addition to taking vitamins, you might also want to consider or think about if you want to take like influenza vaccine. Those are also very commonly provided by occupational health care. So if that's the case, that's also a preventative measure you might want to opt for if you don't want to be one of those people who are on sick leave. But I mean, yeah, it's just the season where you need to take a lot of extra care. So this is something that I feel like we discovered by accident, but now has become something we do every year. And that is stocking up our pantry. Please do let me know in the comments if that is something you do as well or not. So what I essentially mean by stocking up our pantry is we will stock up on things that can last a long period of time. So like rice, pasta, canned goods, things that essentially come in a can or jar. We kind of buy a bigger portion of these, have like a grocery haul towards the beginning of autumn, winter, and that kind of lasts us through the autumn, winter months. Now, of course, this is not something you have to do, but something that we ended up doing because January, February, well, even December, all of these months, it can be very icy in Finland. And of course, it can be slippery outside and icy outside. And yeah, we feel like it's just much easier to do groceries when you're not worried about slipping and falling over with your grocery bags. And that's how this all started. We started just stocking up our pantry a little bit. I mean, of course, we visit the grocery store in autumn and winter. It's not like we don't go to the grocery store, but it does make it a lot easier because then the only things that you're buying are like fresh fruits and vegetables. Speaking of fresh fruits and vegetables, I think the nutrition factor is also very important during the season. So we do try to eat some more seasonal food. So we're going to be buying squash. We're going to be buying gourds and pumpkin and doing our meal prep with those ingredients. And I think that also helps your body to get the nutrients that are, well, seasonal. And something that like my mother-in-law makes a lot, and now something that we have learned from her and we also make very often, are these drinks of lemon and ginger. Yeah, that's been like a real lifesaver, and we really enjoy these hot lemon drinks when it's the cold season. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. Okay, so these are the things that I feel like we have managed to figure out. And that brings us to things that we haven't managed to figure out and things that we still struggle with every single year. And the first one is waking up in the morning. Even with the bright lights, even with the like sunrise alarm clocks, when it becomes autumn, it seems way more difficult to get out of bed in the morning. And I must say that I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I would rather prefer to be jumping out of bed every morning, and that would be the ideal scenario in my head. But yeah, I am bringing this up simply because I would like your recommendations. What are you doing? Finnish people who have lived all your lives in Finland, what are you doing to make it easier for yourself to get up in the morning when it's this dark, cold time of year? Maybe you understood this already, but I don't have this problem in like the summertime. It's really very easy to get out of bed, and I feel like it's no problem whatsoever. But the minute it's these colder months, I feel like I'm not able to wake up as early. And also, it takes me longer to get out of bed. And like I said, I would like to be one of those people who jump out of bed. So please do let us know if you have any recommendations, because yeah, we're still working on this one. Okay, how on earth do Finns manage to stay active during these seasons? Oh my God. I have seen people going running and jogging in the pure darkness, but yeah, that hasn't really appealed to me. It has been hard to stay active during the darker seasons, and that is my second struggle that I would like your advice on. So again, summer seasons, really easy. You're doing so much. I feel like it's really a lot easier to stay very active during the summertime than it is in the wintertime or autumn, for that fact. And I have also been biking to work lately, and that's been a good way to get in some extra cardio. And well, it's getting colder now, so we also bought me a pair of biking gloves, or not biking gloves, but just gloves for biking, since your hands get really cold when biking. But of course, I'm not going to be biking when it starts snowing or anything. Like, I think my biking period is going to come to an end rather soon with how Finnish weather patterns go. And then Chris and I have talked about this a lot, about how do we remain more active during this this dark season. And one of the things that we thought of would be very useful for us is buying a walking pad. Now, I know we can go for a walk outside. Yes, that has occurred to me, but it's also because we spend a lot of time on our laptops, and we have standing desks. So the idea would be that we can walk and work, and we can do what we're basically doing now, but make sure that we get extra steps. Actually, my birthday gift this year was this Garmin watch that Chris gave to me. Thank you. And now I know that I am not hitting the number of steps that I want to be hitting. And I think that's definitely going to, getting a walking pad would also help with that. So I can maybe increase my daily walking count to something closer to 10,000, and which is now closer to 5,000. So yeah, definitely have to figure out a way to be more active during this season. And again, would love to get your opinions on the same. And another thing I struggle with, and this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, is dry skin. Yeah, no matter what I do, I feel like the cold air still beats me. Because this is something that I have tried to actively improve or remedy, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's working, or I'm not sure if there is a solution. Yes, I have heard of moisturizer. I do use moisturizer. But I somehow feel like no matter if I'm using body lotion or even thicker moisturizers, maybe it helps to some extent. Maybe it helps compared to not using anything at all. But at the same time, when the temperature basically hits 0 and below, I think I can tell that my skin doesn't like it. 10 degrees, it's okay, but 0 and below, I can really tell that my skin is affected. And I do try to use different products during the autumn and winter time, just to supplement my dry skin, just to help hydrate it. So that's another thing that's kind of something that's both advice for anyone that might be having their first autumn and winter in Finland, and is also a struggle. So if you have any advice on how to stay hydrated other than drinking water and moisturizing your skin, that would be something that I would be interested in knowing, because it is an every year struggle that no matter how much effort you put into skincare, the winter kind of dampens your efforts. All right, so those are the things that we are doing to transition from warm summer months to cozy autumn months. Whether it's preparing the home, getting our winter layers ready, or adding more light to the home to make it more cozy, to make it more bright. These are the ways that we are getting into the autumn months. And guess what? So when I was doing a little bit of homework for this video, something that kept coming up is hygge. And that reminded me that we actually have a book. Now, here's the fun part. I haven't read it yet, but Chris bought it sometime this year. And I guess one of the tasks I can give myself for the autumn season is to read this little book called The Little Book of Hygge, the Danish Way to Live Well, because when I was researching about creating a cozy atmosphere and how to create like the very simple Nordic atmosphere in the home during the autumn season, the word hygge kept coming up. So I guess I'm gonna have to read and find out. Okay, so if you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel about life in Finland. And I hope to see you in the next video.